Hello and welcome to another Shattered Sanity how-to guide. In this encounter, this is the first boss in the new Dragon Soul raid, and basically I'll be here again doing a step-by-step walkthrough as to how we overcame this fight. Our basic raid configuration is 1 tank, 3 heals, and I believe that's 6 DPS, depending on your item level or your raid's gear. You can sort of mix and change this. Some people choose to 2 tank this with 3 heals. We actually have now changed our configuration to 1 tank, 2 heals, and 7 DPS. Makes for a very quick fight. But again, it really comes down to the gear level of your current team. But our configuration here: 1 tank, 3 heals. So we've encountered this first boss, as you can see, and is a fairly simple mechanic. He's got a stomp, so anyone who is in sort of melee range and closer will get hit with stomp. So if you're a ranged player, we recommend range stay out. You can see here the other phase that he's got is he's going to basically suck everyone in to under his feet, and we have to run away from this black ooze that's pouring out from the old gods, one of his abilities. You stand behind, you go run behind a pillar. If you're ranged, try and get to 2 pillars and then DPS him through the middle. You obviously want to maximize as much damage as you can, just to make the fight shorter and obviously a lot easier for the healers to manage. You can see here, even though I'm on my own, I'm not taking any stomp damage, so I'm virtually safe from any stress. Now the resonating crystals come down. Obviously, it's time to hightail it over to it. You see the red beams. If you've got a red beam on you, obviously that means you're going to take a high amount of damage when the crystal explodes until it goes yellow. Now the closer you are, the less damage you take, so it's important that if you're a ranged member, you make sure you get to that crystal. Melee, it gives their DPS if they're not hitting the boss, whereas ranged, it's much more effective. So ranged includes any ranged DPS or healers. There's no reason as to why a healer can't obviously do the job as well. With 3 healers, you've got a bit of reprieve as well. Okay, so that's pretty much the biggest things there. I'll just sort of make sure that you get a look for the other bits and pieces that we try and do as well. So yeah, you can see here that the tank also is getting a debuff. That debuff stacks up to 8 times. That's why a lot of people tend to 2 tank it. It reduces your armor. So basically our 1 tank manages this by using his cooldowns later on. Yeah, if you've got 2 tanks, obviously you do a tank swap at say 4 stacks. In that particular instance there, you saw I got behind 1 pillar, couldn't do anything. It had a line of sight issue, obviously. So yeah, that's why we do recommend that if you do have the ability to get to a pillar with 2, if you get to 2 pillars, you can get him in the middle of them and continue DPSing. It does help. With our hero, you'll see that we'll blow that very soon. But in this now phase, you may have also noticed that at the very beginning, before he sucked us all in, there was 2 resonating crystals. Now we've got 3. And that 3 remains to be the standard for the rest of the encounter. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the resonating crystals. They're fairly simple to manage. You can see here that we've got another one. You got the red beam, and they're moving over. It's our hunter. Now you can see there that he was a little bit too close, even though he's next to the resonating crystal with stomp. You need to try and avoid that, guys, especially if you change over to a 2 healing mechanic. Yeah, you need to avoid that sort of damage as a ranged member. So you can see here, he's sucking us in. We've hit hero. Getting to behind 2 pillars here. And basically still smashing boss. Now that's pretty much the entire fight. Again, very simple. Try and maximize as much DPS as you can. His enraged timer isn't as forgiving as older raids. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, that's this fight wrapped up. So my name's been Riz, Shattered Sanity. Keep an eye out for any more videos. Coming soon. All the best. Bye bye.